1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. And I am running to be your next mayor to make this city affordable. I will do so by freezing the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants, by making the slowest buses in the country fast and free, and by delivering universal childcare. And I will pay for this by taxing the 1%, the billionaires and the profitable corporations that Mr. Cuomo cares more about than working-class New Yorkers. I will ask them to pay their fair share. In my first year in the state legislature, I came to Albany, where we had a governor then who didn't want to raise taxes on billionaires and corporations. That was then Governor Cuomo. And we actually overcame his objections, raised $4 billion in new annual revenue, and finally funded the very public schools that he had starved for so many years.
Thank you very much. We have to go with Mr.
Another
Baker.
shot. He's
As
jabbing.
a South Bronx native, family of Jamaican immigrants.
Do you think that President Trump is unfairly targeting Mr. Cuomo?
No, I don't think that it's unfair, but I have no interest in believing that they're actually pursuing justice.
Okay. Second part of my question.
And to be clear, it's not unfair because Andrew Cuomo did lie to Congress, but ultimately we know that the Trump Justice Department and the Trump administration as a whole is interested more in vindictiveness and persecution of political enemies than in anything to do with justice.
Okay, so moving forward, you are also a socialist, and because of that, why wouldn't President Trump target you and, by extension, target New Yorkers? You have 1 minute.
President Trump will target whomever is the next mayor of this city. President Trump even targeted his, in many ways, accomplice, Mayor Eric Adams, who has collaborated with the Trump administration at almost every opportunity. And still, in the midst of that collaboration, we saw that New Yorkers are being taken off the streets in their apartment building lobbies. We have $80 million being taken out of our city bank account. So I don't think there's any question that there's any mayor here that will be free from being attacked by Donald Trump. What's more important, however, is that we have a mayor who will actually fight back. And that's what I will do.
God.
I am Donald Trump's worst nightmare
as
a progressive Muslim immigrant who actually fights for the things that I believe in. And the difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo is that my campaign is not funded by the very billionaires who put Donald Trump in D.C. I don't have to pick up the phone from Bill Ackman or Ken Langone. I have to pick up the phone for the more than 20,000 New Yorkers who contributed an average donation of about $80 to break fundraising records and put our campaign in second place.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
Mr. Cuomo, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, please.
No, I don't,
Mr.
actually.
Mamdani is very good on Twitter and with videos, but he actually produces nothing for him to accuse me of lying. He also called President Obama a liar and said President Obama was evil. So take everything with a grain of salt.
He insulted DNC insiders.
Mr. Mamdani like a hot knife through butter.
Our city is under attack by an authoritarian Trump administration, and it is under attack that is now being echoed by Trump's allies right here in New York City. And I say that as someone who would be the first immigrant mayor of the city in generations, someone who just yesterday had a sitting elected official call for me to be deported. This is not an intellectual exercise for the people of New York City. We deserve to have a mayor who is not funded by the same billionaires that put Donald Trump in D.C. We deserve to have a mayor who will actually fight back. And the way that we fight back is ensure that our local institutions continue to provide the services to each and every New Yorker.
But the question is, how can you protect those people? Going to hospitals, how can you protect them?
Here's the thing. The Donald Trump administration will use the fact that they fund 7% of our city budget as leverage over us to try and give up whichever category of New Yorkers they are pursuing in that day. Ultimately, what we need to do is tell those same institutions we will provide them that funding, and we'll get that funding by taxing the 1% and the wealthiest corporations right here in New York State.
Thank you so much. Mr. Blake, I'm going to remind you the question is, ICE notifies the hospitals that they're going to be...
It is true, by the way. Like, the most important thing you need to do is make sure that your jurisdiction is independent, right? New York City does get money from the federal government. Look what they did with Harvard, for example, the federal endowment. They're doing it with Columbia now. The number one thing they can go after is your purse strings. So if you are capable of paying your own budget on your own, keep in mind, a city government can't borrow the way the government can. When the government borrows, it just prints more money. With the city government, they don't have the Fed. They have to literally borrow, like on a loan, or get the money from somewhere. So making sure you're solvent on your own really insulates you against those attacks.
And something that many people may not realize, in 2008, Andrew Cuomo said that no candidate should shuck or jive in an election. Clearly, Barack Obama was there. So when we talk about education, it's not just about making sure that we're understanding how more kids can read, but making sure we address the anti-blackness happening in schools.
We're at time, Mr. Blake, and before we move to Mr. Mamdani, Mr. Cuomo, would you like to respond to that?
It's ridiculous. So no.
What about it is ridiculous?
Is it inaccurate that you said in 2008?
I never insulted President Obama.
Is
Mr. Mamdani who said he is a liar.
Is the quote incorrect?
And evil.
This is
I never insulted.
Okay, not hearing
He's not
an answer
saying
to
he didn't say that.
In 2008.
I never.
In 2008.
We do have to move on because many people do want to hear about public education, so we're going to move on to Mr. Mamdani to discuss. Okay, you can have 45 seconds to respond to him, and please address the question about public schools.
Yes, absolutely. I'll do so shortly after. We have Mr. Cuomo, who said these words of shuck and jive when Barack Obama was running to be the president of our country. I was proud in 2008 that the first doors I ever knocked on was for Barack Obama, while we had a candidate here.
Why do you call him an evil and
While we
a liar?
have a candidate here
Why would you call him a liar?
A candidate here who is so allergic to any accountability or acknowledgement of a mistake that he can't even admit that he said these kinds of words. Now, as it pertains to public education, all of the challenges that we are facing in our city when it comes to our schools, they are also downstream from the fact that 500,000 of our children are going to sleep hungry every single night. 100,000 of them for the 9th consecutive year are now homeless. We need to ensure we have a city where our children can not only have food to eat, a place to call their home, and we also have to have the full implementation of class size reduction.
Mr. Tilson, we're going to move to you, and I just want to remind you, we do want to know a solution.
In the 2023 to 2024 school year, about 150,000 students in New York City's public schools experienced homelessness. About 1 in every 8 students. About 1 in every 8 students enrolled in public schools in 2023 to 2024 at some point during that year experienced homelessness. That's where we're at.
Who on this stage would you rank number 2?
I'd leave it to the voters.
So you would not put a name in, or you're not sure?
No, I'd leave it to the voters.
Okay.
Mr. Tilson.
I haven't decided on my number 2, but I'm an ABZ. No disrespect, Zohran, but I think his policies are dangerous.
Okay, Mr. Mamdani.
I'm more of an ABC guy, anybody but Cuomo. I'll be telling my voters, however, who to rank number 2 before Election Day.
Okay, no name was yet. Mr. Blake.
I'm going to take the Andrew Cuomo approach and not answer your question.
Mr. Stringer.
I mean, that's...
This fucking guy, dude. Jesus Christ. I'm undoing the endorsement, okay? Vote for this guy, okay? I don't know. He's funny.
Andrew Cuomo has shown you many times tonight why he should not be anywhere on your ballot.
Mr. Myrie.
Literally, like, the question is, who on stage do you like? And everyone's answer is, well, I fucking hate Cuomo. But apart from that, no comment.
You've all made housing a top priority in your campaigns. And as you all know, the city is in a housing crisis with a vacancy rate of just 1.4%. We'd like you to explain your proposed solutions to this housing crisis and how you would pay for it.
If you are one of the close to 2.5 million New Yorkers who live in rent-stabilized housing, I will freeze your rent. And I will do that because you have a median household income of $60,000 while your landlord profits have increased by 12%. This is an act that will bring nearly $7 billion back into your pocket and back into the pockets of our local economy. This is what we will do immediately, and we'll do so because the mayor has the power to. Even though there are those like Andrew Cuomo on this stage who will tell you it's unrealistic, we know the previous mayor actually did this 3 times. And on top of this, we're going to build 200,000 truly affordable homes. Homes that are for the New Yorker who has a median household income of $70,000 for a family of 4. We'll do this while taking on the very bad landlords and the real estate developers who are funding Andrew Cuomo's campaign, $2.5 million last time I checked. And we're going to do that because ultimately every single person needs to follow the law, and that includes the landlords who are violating our housing code and have $800 million in fines that the city have yet to actually collect on.
Very brief response.
Gotta yoink it.
Very brief response, Mr. Cuomo.
Mr. Mamdani is very good at videos, but not
Good
reality.
talking.
We've already heard that line before.
The Daily News said that his plan to finance his proposals, it violates the constitutional debt cap of the city of New York. It would double the state taxes, and there is no way the state is going to pass a tax statewide.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cuomo. We have to.
No, he's invoked me. I should be able to respond.
No,
just for 10 seconds.
No, so
just for 10 seconds here.
Brief response.
What the governor is speaking about is when we want to fight for working class people, it's considered unrealistic. But when he wants to give Elon Musk a $1 billion tax break, it's totally feasible. What the Daily News found is that this would mean taking a $30 billion budget, increasing it such that we could actually create truly affordable housing.
All right.
The case of Mahmoud Khalil, a permanent U.S. resident who helped lead pro-Palestinian protests, drags on in the courts. The Trump administration wants to deport Khalil, accusing him of supporting Hamas, a terrorist group, and making Jewish students feel less safe on campus. They say he's a threat to foreign policy. He was arrested and detained, but has not been formally charged with a crime, and he says he's done nothing wrong. We're looking for a very short answer here, and we'll begin with you, Mr. Mamdani. Do you believe that Mr. Khalil should be set free or deported?
He should be set free. He should be at home with his wife, Noor, and their young child. And the fact that he is still in Louisiana is an abomination. It's an attack on our First Amendment. And it is clear, another example of Donald Trump weaponizing the very real issue of anti-Semitism to then throw Palestinian New Yorkers into detention facilities and not even tell us what the crime is that they're charged with.
Very solid.
Is there an area where you would consider replacing city workers with AI if it saves tax dollars? And would you also offer any protections to city workers? You'll have 30 seconds to answer. We'll begin with you, Mr.
I like this question,
Mamdani.
actually.
Well, I think Andrew Cuomo would tell you that he's already replaced a campaign worker who would have written his housing policy with AI because he had it written by ChatGPT. I can tell you that I'm proud to be endorsed by the labor union representing the largest number of city workers, DC 37. And I'm proud of that because my approach to artificial intelligence will be one where we can find efficiencies in the contracts and consultants that we work with as a city, but we are not going to use this language of artificial intelligence as a justification for further layoffs of city workers.
Okay, Mr. Mamdani, time. Thank you.
Candidates, thank you. We have a few short questions, lightning round questions, some call them, just to get a glimpse of your thinking on some of the issues that are relevant to New Yorkers. So New Yorkers are feeling stressed about housing in the city, as you've all alluded to, as we know. How much do you pay each month for rent or a mortgage? We'll go left to right. Ms.
Oh, my God.
Our home is paid. I'm a homeowner.
Okay. Mr. Cuomo.
$7,800.
Mr. Tilson.
I own and pay about $5,000 a month in maintenance and taxes.
Mr. Mamdani.
$2,300 for my one bedroom in Astoria.
Mr. Stringer.
I'm getting ripped off $6,400 a month.
Property tax reform. Come on, I can do it for you. All
right, thank you. The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first?
Good question.
Left to right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Of course.
Okay. Mr. Cuomo.
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Yeah, we know.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my fourth trip to Israel, followed by my fifth trip to Ukraine, two of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I've said.
Why does he get the specific Israel? What?
Travel to Israel to stand up for Jewish New Yorkers. And that is what I will be doing, New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their city.
Wait, what was this answer? I'm sorry.
No,
as mayor?
I've said travel to Israel to stand up for Jewish New Yorkers. And that is what I will be doing, New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples.
There was a cut, and also the audio's desynced now.
Or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
What the fuck?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't say it has a right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very clear.
And his answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No. Unlike you, I answer questions very direct.
What the fuck is this? It's a lightning round. Here's like 4. Who was the person who asked that? The woman, the moderator who asked that. Was that the Politico woman? Which woman asked that?
All right, and I want to be very clear. I believe every state should be a state of equal rights.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mamdani.
That was fucking weird, dude. Like to wait, like not even in the question about Israel or anything, but to specifically ask, like, hey, your quick lightning round for you specifically. What the fuck was that?
Again, we thank the candidates for an informative evening tonight. We also.
Like final thoughts on this, honestly, is that the debate went really well. I think Mamdani handled everything very well. I don't know what the fuck that was at the end. Honestly, everything seemed pretty fair. And then at the end, he just gets this weird lightning round where he's like, hey, do you believe that Israel should be an ethno-state? The correct answer is yes, by the way. I don't know what the fuck that was about. It's like they had like a quota of bashing on Mamdani they had to fill in at the last second. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. So honestly, I would say overall the debate's a win. Weird note to end it on, but overall, I'm pretty happy.